Hey everyone. One of you recently asked me how to embrace change, and this is an awesome topic because a lot of people struggle with this, and that makes sense. It's likely rooted in our biology because back when we were living in nature, uncertainty was pretty much a threat to our own survival. So, with that, we basically feared change because with change comes uncertainty. But now, in modern times, that fear doesn't really serve us as well as it used to because there are very few things that can actually affect our survival in modern times. But anyway, in this video, I'll be sharing with you a few tips that will hopefully help you get to a place where you can embrace change. And as you would imagine, almost all these tips involve mindset because that's the thing that you need to work on here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just accept the fact that change is a part of life because it is. I mean, there's that quote, I don't know who said it, but somebody said that the only constant in life is change. And it's true. Everywhere you look within the universe is change. The universe itself is constantly changing. It's expanding over time. So everything within it is in this constant state of flux. Nothing is staying as it is, or at least if it does, it's not for long. Everything is either expanding or shrinking or growing cooler or warmer or ceasing to exist, or new things are coming into existence. Everything is constantly changing. So just accept that. It's a part of life. I mean, we human beings live on this tiny little planet, but we're not separate to the rule of change in the universe. It affects us just the same. So accept it. And the next thing you're going to want to do is work on reframing your thoughts. Basically, try to get to a place where you can view change as an exciting thing, because it often can be. Change is one of the main catalysts for growth, and it's one of the quickest ways to grow. Quite often, those periods in our life that have the most change lead to us growing immensely. So then further down the road, we'll look back on that situation and go, holy crap, that made me who I am today. That helped me grow into the person I am. And if you like who you are, then hopefully that means you're going to like everything that happened to you in the past, because it all led to you being who you are. And if any of it had been any different, even in tiny ways, you probably wouldn't be the same person you are today. And that's a butterfly effect, but topic for another video. But yeah, so try to view change as an exciting thing. Quite often it leads to better things for us. I like to take the mentality that if something isn't meant for me, then it's not going to work out in my life. And quite often that means things will change. People will fall out of my life, or I'll fall out of job situations or leave them purposely, as I recently did, that sort of thing. Like, if something isn't meant for you, you should actually want it to fall out of your life sooner rather than later. You should want that change as quickly as possible, because any time spent on things that aren't meant for you is pretty much wasted for the most part, although you still of course will get growth out of it, but otherwise it kind of is wasted time because we only get a limited amount of time. So knowing that, you should want change to happen as quickly as possible if it means that you're going to be losing something that's not meant for you and acquiring something that is, whether it be a person or a physical location that you belong in. Maybe you no longer feel at home in your hometown, so you need to go somewhere else that's better for you. Whatever it may be, you should always embrace the change that gets you closer to a life that's actually meant for you, that's more ideal for you. So start trying to view change as an exciting thing, especially because it's a great catalyst for growth. I mean, it really is. Like, the past few years have been insane for all of us. There's been a lot of change, but I'm sure a lot of us have grown in awesome ways during that time. And we wouldn't have grown in those ways if not for all the change that we were experiencing. So change can often be a good thing, even if it's outside of your control. Because quite often we make decisions, and those decisions lead to change for ourselves. So we kind of have some amount of control. And even in the cases where change is kind of outside of your control, where external things force you to make a decision or force your hand, you still have a lot of autonomy where you get to decide what to do. So things may play out in a certain way and you can't control that, but you still get to decide how you wish to react to the way that things play out. So even with change, you'll quite often have way more control over the change in your life than you believe, because you can always decide where you want to go or what decision you want to make, what action you want to take. Like, that's something that we have the power to control, even if you can't quite control the situations you're put into, which will kind of limit the decisions you can make. You still get to choose what decision you make, right? It's not like some entity within the universe jumps into your head and forces you to pick something. Like, that's on you. So we have a lot more control over change than we even believe that we do. So that's another helpful thing to realize. But the last thing I want to leave you with is just try to think about your past and all the times where you made decisions or where change happened that may have scared you at first, but further down the road you can look back on what happened and actually appreciate that change happened to you. Because I mean, heck, there have been so many times in my own life where change had to happen and it scared the crap out of me when I was going through it. But later on, I can look back on those moments and think, holy crap, I'm so grateful that I had to make that change or that change happened, because it led to so much growth and propelled me further to who I want to be, the ideal version of me. So try to think about that in your own life. What things in your past, what situations where you underwent a lot of change scared you but ended up being a good thing? It could even be a breakup. I mean, that's quite often going to be a more common one, because we think we're in love with someone, or maybe we even are, but they're just not quite good for us. So then either they break up with us or we break up with them, and our life doesn't seem the same way anymore because now we don't have that person in it. But that's often, well, I would almost argue it's always a good thing for the most part, because yeah, it's basically taking someone who isn't meant for you and making it so you don't waste any more time on them. That's not always the case, of course. Sometimes it could be a great person and maybe you did something that messed it up, or maybe it's just logistics and they have to go somewhere else for whatever reason and it takes you apart from them. But for the most part, all of us have experienced situations where we underwent a lot of change that scared the crap out of us when we were going through it, but later on down the road we can reflect back on it and be like, that was a blessing in disguise. That was a good thing. I'm glad I went through that change. Glad things happened the way they did, because I love where I am today, or who I am today, and I wouldn't be here or who I am if not for things playing out the way they did. So there you go. That's pretty much all I have for you in this video. I truly hope it was helpful. I mean, it's great to get to that place in life, because I mean, I've been here for a while and I truly do view change as like an exciting thing. Like, but it doesn't mean that I'm constantly going around trying to constantly change things in my life. That would probably be too stressful. But it's good every now and then to make a decision that scares you, to kind of cause change in your own life when you know something isn't meant for you and maybe you're a bit hesitant or scared to make a decision that will change your life. Well, you should do it, because quite often you're basically going to be following that rule of kicking away something that isn't meant for you and opening the door to something that is. So have the courage to make that choice. But anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, be sure to subscribe for more like it, or like the video. It's the easiest way you can help me out, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know if this was helpful, and remember, guys, we're all on this journey together. The most important thing is that you just keep going, keep moving forward, keep doing things that scare you from time to time, and keep making decisions that you know you have to make, even if you're afraid to do so. If you know that it's the right thing you need to do and it scares the crap out of you and your family are advising against it, your friends are telling you to be careful, whatever it may be, if you know it's the right decision for you to make, then have the courage to make it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!